Has someone ever spoken to you like you were nothing right there in front of everyone and you just stood there, silent, maybe even forced to smile? As if it didn't land? Then later, alone, your mind wouldn't stop spinning. All the sharp, perfect comebacks you could have said, playing the scene on repeat like a bad movie you can't turn off. That spiral ends today. Because here's the raw truth nobody hands you. Staying quiet in the face of disrespect doesn't keep the peace. It hands over permission. You teach them it's safe to do it again, and they will every single time. But not anymore. I'm about to give you 6 exact responses that flip the entire script. No insults, no shouting, no drama. They are calm, simple, and so disarming that the shift is almost instant. Once you own these, people won't just stop testing you. They'll honestly regret ever trying. Stay with me, because the very first one will permanently change the way people speak to you. Most of us get this completely wrong. We think some people are just born rude, wired mean. Nothing to be done. But disrespect isn't random. It's a test. Before someone takes a shot at you, they watch. They're scanning for one single signal. Will this person push back, or will they let it slide? If your history screams, "I let things go," you've already answered the question before they even open their mouth. So they go ahead. I lived in that space for years. Not because I was weak, but because I genuinely didn't know how to respond without sounding either too aggressive or like a doormat. So I smiled, absorbed it, moved on. And the more I absorbed, the more it came. Every silence sent the same unspoken message. You can do this. There are 0 consequences. Come back anytime. Until one day I got exhausted by that feeling and discovered something crucial. The response doesn't need to be a monologue. It just needs to land. It needs to be clear, delivered like you mean it, with 0 apology. These 6 responses are exactly that. Once you understand them, silence won't feel like your only option anymore. 1. Agree on your terms. When someone disrespects you in front of others, they're hoping for one of 2 reactions. You blow up and look unstable, or you shrink and look weak. Either way, they win. So refuse both. Instead, agree but strip their words of any sting by owning them completely. Picture this. Someone tosses out a comment wrapped in just enough edge to burn. Wow, you really went all out on that presentation, huh? Old you might scramble to defend it. New you looks them right in the eye, shrugs slightly, and says, "I did, and honestly, I'm happy with how it turned out." Flat tone, easy expression, not a trace of shame. What just happened? You yanked the power right out of their hands. By agreeing without flinching, their comment becomes a non-event. The audience expected a reaction. You gave them 0 fireworks. Now the instigator just looks like someone trying to pick a fight with thin air. Try another version. Someone smirks. You really think you're the expert on everything, don't you? Don't explain. Don't downplay. Instead, a small, calm smile. I'm confident in what I know. That's not arrogance. That's someone who is deeply settled inside themselves. And settled people are practically impossible to rattle. People feel that, and they back up fast. The chronic joker who hides digs inside jokes? Agree with the surface. Keep your dignity fully intact, and watch their material evaporate. Here's why this works every single time. Shame needs your participation. Remove that, and the whole thing collapses. TWO. Make them say it plainly. Disrespect often hides behind vague, slippery words. Someone says something that could be brushed off as harmless, but everyone in the room catches the real meaning. That vagueness is their shield. As long as it stays fuzzy, they can deny everything. And you look oversensitive for calling it out. So you remove the shield entirely. You look at them, calm and steady, and ask, "What exactly do you mean by that?" Not with heat, like you genuinely need them to clarify. Then watch the shift happen. Suddenly, all the safety drains from their posture. They now have to own that comment with actual, concrete words in front of actual people. And most people absolutely will not do that, because when a veiled insult is dragged into the light, It sounds exactly like what it is. Ugly. So they backpedal. "Oh, I was just saying." "Never mind, it was nothing, just a joke." Everyone around you just saw that retreat. In that moment, the power swings completely. You didn't accuse, didn't argue. You asked one question and let their own answer do all the heavy lifting. That's the brilliance of this move. Zero accusations. Total accountability placed right back where it belongs. Most people will never try that kind of vagueness with you again once you've used this a single time. 3. Give one warning and mean it completely. This is for the repeat offenders. The coworker who always has a comment, the family member who can't help themselves, the friend who always slides in one dig too many. They keep going because they believe each tiny moment is too small to address. This response wipes away that hiding place. You say, quiet and certain, "I'm going to let that go this one time, but I need you to know I won't let it go again." Your voice is low. No performance, no anger, just a fact being delivered. You've shown them you aren't reactive. One jab doesn't make you explode, but you've also drawn a clear, undeniable line, and you've told them they are standing right next to it. If they cross it again, you don't need another big conversation. You already stated what would happen. You simply follow through. People adjust remarkably fast around someone who says exactly what they mean and then moves accordingly. Suddenly, you're no longer the easy option. And that's all you ever needed to become. This warning isn't a threat. It's a gift. You're offering them a chance to correct course before the relationship changes permanently. Most who hear it clearly will take that chance. The ones who don't have just told you everything you need to know. Pause right here and notice a pattern in every response so far. No screaming, no insults, no dramatic scenes. Because real respect isn't claimed by being the lewdest person in the room. It's established by being the clearest, the calmest, the most unshakably sure of yourself. When you answer chaos with chaos, people only see the mess. When you answer with total clarity, people see someone they genuinely should not have tested. That shift inside you from someone who absorbs to someone who reflects, from shrinking under pressure to standing still and letting the pressure bounce off, that's the entire game. 4. Take your frame back. Every act of disrespect is essentially an attempt to box you in, to make you look defensive or small. The moment you start defending, you've climbed right into their box. This response refuses that box entirely. Imagine you're in a group conversation and someone cuts you off mid-sentence. Most of us stop, feel that hot flush of embarrassment, and just let it go. Instead, you wait. Let them finish. Then, with the same steady energy, you say, "That's a fair point. Now, let me finish what I was saying." And you pick up exactly where you left off. Same voice, same pace. The interruption was nothing more than a tiny bump that didn't alter your direction at all. That composure is the message. You acknowledge them, but you took your space back without asking anyone's permission. The people watching will remember that. They saw you get tested and saw you stay completely standing. Another version. Someone publicly questions a decision you made. Don't defend it. Instead, tilt your head with genuine curiosity and say, "What I find more interesting is why that bothers you." Now, they are the subject. You shifted the spotlight without a single spark of drama. You refused the story they were trying to write. They wanted you to look small. You just looked unmovable. That's the frame you always want to operate from. Not defensive, not aggressive, just solid. And solid people never need to raise their voice to command respect. 5. Let real indifference do the work. This one barely needs words. And that's precisely its power. When you give someone a big emotional reaction to their disrespect, you've paid them. You handed over exactly what they came for. Your energy, your upset, proof they got under your skin. So what if you gave them absolutely nothing? Not the fake, eye-rolling version that everyone sees through. Real nothing, born from a genuine decision that this person simply doesn't deserve your emotional real estate. They say something cutting, You glance at them for one beat, not angry, not wounded, just completely neutral, as if you heard something mildly uninteresting. Then you go right back to whatever you were doing. That is the whole response. Continue. People accustomed to extracting reactions from you might try once more. Same flat, unbothered response. Maybe a third time. Then they stop, because there's zero return on their investment. Nobody keeps doing something that gives them absolutely nothing back. But this only works if it's genuine. If you're replaying it all night, the indifference is just a costume, and a costume doesn't hold up under close inspection. Real indifference comes from the real decision that your peace is not a public resource. Not every person who takes a shot at you gets access to how you feel inside. Make that decision for real, and watch the dynamic shift entirely. Your peace is the prize, and once you stop handing it out freely, people sense they need to treat you with far more care. 6. Name the pattern out loud. A single offhand comment can always be explained away. A pattern cannot. This is for when it's happened more than once, when someone has settled into a habit and keeps returning to chip away at you. Instead of focusing on one moment, you address the whole picture. Here's how it sounds. I've noticed something. This keeps happening between us. Not once, more than once. And it always goes in the same direction. I don't know if you're aware of it, but I am. And I'm telling you now that I see it clearly. Say it calm. No raised voice, no accusations, just a quiet observation delivered directly. You just removed every escape route. They can't call it one misunderstanding. They can't paint you as too sensitive. You're talking about a pattern, and that lands with a very specific kind of weight. There's a deep discomfort people feel when they realize someone has been quietly watching the whole time, clocking every small sting they thought slipped by unnoticed. That awareness hits hard without a single unkind word. Most people who rely on small, repeated disrespects count on the smallness being their protection. This response tells them that protection is gone. You have the entire picture. You named it, and now they know. And knowing changes behavior faster than any argument ever could. You didn't need to win a fight. You just needed to make them aware you've been paying attention the entire time. That awareness alone resets the entire dynamic. Here's what sits underneath all 6 of these responses. It's not the exact words that make them work. It's the belief behind the words. The unwavering belief that you don't need to earn the right to be treated with basic respect. Respect isn't a prize you win after proving yourself enough times. It is simply the minimum standard for how you allow people to engage with you. Most people who face regular disrespect are good, decent, kind people. People taught somewhere along the way that keeping the peace mattered more than keeping their dignity. They began acting as if they needed permission to expect better. You don't need permission. Not once. Not from anyone. The moment you stop waiting for it and start moving from that belief, everything shifts. The way you carry yourself, the tone in your voice, the way you hold eye contact a second longer without looking away, the way you walk into a room like you already belong there. People feel all of this before you say a single word. Your presence becomes its own message. The responses work every time, but it's the belief that gives them their real weight. Without it, the words are just words. With it, they become something else entirely. A boundary, a standard, a clear, quiet signal to everyone in the room about exactly who they're dealing with. That version of you, these 6 responses, are designed to bring forward, not to create, just to finally let out. That version was always there. These responses simply give it a voice. Drop a comment below right now. Tell me which of these 6 you're going to use first. I genuinely read every single one. And if someone in your life needs to hear this today, share this video with them right now. See you in the next one. Until then, remember this. Every single day you walk into a room is a chance to show people exactly who they're dealing with. Use that chance. Make it count. You are worth that, and you always have been.